Young men today have depression. Young men today are lonely. Young men today don't have a sense of belonging. And everybody has been looking for an answer. Everybody is telling men to speak up. But I'll call all these things the male aimlessness. And what's the real cause of the male aimlessness? It's not what to think. It's not because men are not speaking up. Because men have spoken up, but has it really solved anything? The real problem with men today is the fact that they have killed a part of them, or we have forgotten a part of us as men that brought us to where we are today. See, another part of killed is called the warrior, is you call the warrior mentality, the warrior spirit. And I'm knowing this because ever since I learned how to fight, I kid you not, that this is, if you're following my vlog, you get to realize that this is not my first attempt in learning how to fight. No, it's not my first. The same year I left my father's house was the same year literally I started to learn how to fight. And that dawned on me that, hold on, the first year I signed up for a dojo was the year I left my father's house. What's going on here? Now I'm back to learning how to fight. All of a sudden, a lot of ideas are coming to me. I'm feeling more of this spark, more of this drive. I'm like, okay, hold on. So what's going on? So I've been diving deep, right? I've come to realize that that idea of that warrior mindset intentionally has died in us. Think about it as men. When was the most growth that human beings ever achieved in their entire lives? It was during war. Now, I'm not asking men to go back to war, but one thing I'll tell you for sure is men feel most alive when there's a war. Because when there's a war, guess what? That's what happens. People together, people bond together because at that moment it's for survival. It gives men a sense of belonging. But guess what? The people, you see, a lot of men, they never took their mindset off the idea of war. They still held that idea that they should always be in that constant state of war. But guess what? We now live in peaceful times. And when peaceful times happen, guess what? It creates weak men, right? So this is why we see the fact that because they saw a need to promote women in the workforce. Now, please be very careful. I don't want to attack women for this because be very careful. Because they wanted to promote women, right, in the workforce, guess what? They told men to kill aggression in themselves. But guess what? It's the aggression that they've killed in men that's making men depressed, anxious, not having ambition, not having drive. You see, aggression is not the problem. Untamed aggression is the actual problem. Because everybody who has learned how to fight always has a journey of aggression to tamed aggression. They start learning how to fight, they come to a dojo, they have this aggressiveness of, oh, now I'm learning how to fight. It means I can beat anybody. But guess what? After about 6 months to a year inside learning how to train, guess what? They are always the most gentle. They are always the most calm. I'm saying this because in my story, I was bullied. In my story, after some time, I became a bully. And one thing I'll tell you for sure is that bullying or fighting starts with the mind first before physical. Because all bullies will test you first. And when you don't react mentally, they take it physical, they begin to strike. But when a bully tests you and you know how to respond to his mental games, not to worry, he knows not to mess with you. You see, I thought that idea of killing aggression in men is one of the biggest mistakes I've ever done. So the idea of this video is for you to rekindle that warrior spirit. Because these days, one of my self-improvement coaches introduced me to what I would call Miyomoto Musashi, his works, that warrior mentality. And bro, every single time I read or I listen to audio tapes from Miyomoto Musashi, every single time I learn something new that applies to war, but guess what? It applies to life also. So what that means is that if the moment you learn how to fight, physical fighting, guess what? It just feels like most of your problems, you feel like you can tackle a lot of things. I kid you not. The time when two-thirds of the CEO, of the Fortune 500 CEO, came from the military. Think about it. Two-thirds of the Fortune 500 CEOs came from the military. They knew how to fight. What does that tell you? Because learning how to fight just makes you level up on a level that people who don't know how to fight can never get to. Again, men want to feel capable. So when you are capable, when you are aggressive, when you have tamed your aggression, you can feel like you can get things done. This is why I would always die on this hill that the best thing any man can learn today is to learn how to fight. Like I said, it's a mental game. So when you walk into a negotiation, guess what? Your mind has already calculated every single thing. And heck, there is not a single soul that knows how to fight stupid. That line hits me hard recently when I was wondering, what is that one habit? What is that one place that men can go to where you can never find somebody who is stupid? It's the same place where people are learning how to fight, where you are forced to think very, very sharp. So let's come back to this whole idea of the warrior mentality. Because when you have the warrior mentality, you get to know that aggression in men is very important. It gives you that ambition, gives you that drive. So the more aggressive you are, while you are taming your aggression, the further you can go in life. Right? So that idea of shaming men for being aggressive should be completely eliminated. So what happens next? With the warrior mentality, one other thing that I've noticed is what? Solitude. And I've been preaching this thing ever since I've learned how to fight, because ever since I began to like stay on my own without earphones, without social media, and just sit down and just listen to my own voice, it's been a complete game changer, because it's easier for you to catch negative thoughts when you're just by yourself, thinking by yourself. Because again, when you're shadow boxing, it's like you fighting yourself. It's like you fighting your shadow. But guess what? That's the way if you sit down and just listen to your thoughts without social media, without being stimulated, guess what? You begin to think about what should you think about. Again, these guys know this, so they will rather distract you. So you need to stop distracting yourself. Fucking embrace solitude. So you can basically know, you can basically ask yourself, you can basically have a conversation with yourself. Think about it. You are your own sparring partner. If you're your sparring partner, think about how much you can even have a conversation with yourself and speak with yourself. Because one of the best gifts, that's one of the best gifts I've received by learning how to fight. And mind you, I'm still learning, and almost every time I'm learning, and again, learning how to fight again is not by striking, it's not by grappling, it's by sometimes listen to what you're thinking yourself. Listen to what you're telling yourself. Because we all have this thing called automatic negative thoughts, impulsive control. Most men today are very, very impulsive because they cannot control themselves. They lack that idea of discipline. Think about it. Learning how to fight would make you disciplined. Learning how to fight again will put you in a room of like-minded people. And I don't want to make it sound like fighting, because when I say fighting, because you're a good person, right? Anything that seems has this negative idea towards it, you may want to shun away from it. But that's how you know. Because think about it. Like I've said, every person who starts learning how to fight, within the first 3 months, they're sort of aggressive. But over time, that aggression, from my experience, and I've seen this thing happen every time, after about 3 to 6 months, that aggression begins to look like it feels tamed. So there's a story that happened to me recently, right? Now, when I'm using like public transport, like I try to like dress rugged sometimes because I'm in Nigeria, Lagos. So in the public transport, they respect you, they give you this street respect. So one day I was going to my guy's place, just one bus away. I figured that let me just like look clean because we are going out. So when I dressed well, right, this guy was trying to cheat me. So I came down from the bus and I was ready to rack it up with him. Apparently, he figured that, okay, this guy is actually not a street boy as clean as he looks, because when I dragged this bus conductor out of his bus, he looked at me and realized that, no, I was not joking. I was willing to fight him. Now, the whole idea, like I said, all fight is mental. I was not going to strike him, but the fact that he had that idea in his head that, bro, this guy is big, right? Then he realized that I had dragged him out of the bus, meaning that I am ready to go blow for blow with this guy. Automatically, he adjusted himself and then basically gave me my respect back. Now, something else happened again. Inside that same bus, he kept on running his mouth, insulting me. And I made a statement that made the whole bus quiet. I said, this bus conductor is talking too much. If we get to where we are going to and he keeps talking, nobody should beg me. And that immediately puts respect in my name. Now, I'm not basically proud to say that I made the whole bus feel threatened or feel like, who the fuck is this guy? But the fact that all fights happen mentally. And mind you, this thing has happened to me before, where these guys will try to bully me because they feel like I'm soft. I'm probably somebody who will not want to go that far, who will not want to get stained. But when he realized that I'm not the person he can push mentally. So I'll tell you that ever since I'm learning how to fight, I've been detecting this street mental game. Again, like I said, it's always a mental game. So when you adopt this warrior mindset, what happens again? You take risks. The average man today feels safe. He wants to play it safe. Being a warrior, you don't need to play it safe because every single move is a risk to you. So guess what? It's easier for you to follow your voice. Again, solitude. Listen to your own voice. Take that risk. Anything your voice tells you, mind you, precisely when you're not listening to other people, when you're listening to yourself, it sounds very risky because your voice will tell you to take a path other people have not taken. But guess what? That is actually the most rewarding path. And everything I'm saying from here comes from Miyoto Musashi. If you don't believe me, just please go to YouTube, look for people who have done summaries of this guy. Just listen to a 10-minute summary of anybody and tell me you'll not be moved as a man. Just listen to me, Shomishat. Just have this mindset alone. I can bet you, if you watch him for a while, you will end up learning how to fight. You will end up going to a gym to learn how to fight. Mind you, these days, even the gym itself, that's supposed to build people who look attractive, who look dangerous. Guess what? Those guys are not dangerous. There are more videos coming out these days of guys who are smaller, wiping out guys who are bodybuilders. So it's not about muscle anymore. It's not about looking confident. It's not about looking big or looking dangerous. It's about actually being dangerous and being capable of danger. The main problem is a lot of men don't want to feel like they are threatening. Speaking of being dangerous, right? I've noticed that from my experience. As a man, it's better for you, right? As a man, it's better for you to look dangerous, right? Than for you to look. It's better for you to be dangerous. Or sorry, it's better for you to look intimidating to a woman than for you to look nice and soft to a woman. There's a reason for that. See, because women can sense that energy of this guy is capable. This guy is dangerous. I mean, his aggression is tamed, but it's something attractive to them because that is a level of masculinity that women can sense. They can feel it in you. When you walk, when you talk, and when you walk and you talk, there's a way you walk and talk that you know that this person, even though you have a soft voice, there is a way you would look in any situation that women would just instantly know. If you ever notice some of these main guys, these MMA guys, whenever there's a fight and they tell you there's a fight, if you look at it very well, when they narrate it, they're always calm. Imagine everybody's making noise in the room and you are the most calm person in the room. Think about how much women will respect you for that. Because that's what true masculine energy is. It's not about bragging. It's about you just being there and just maintaining that softness. Now, speaking of risk, remember when I said you need aggression. Aggression is supposed to be a form of drive. Again, it has to be tamed. These days, when I say guys looks maxing, that makes sense to me that a lot of guys are so afraid to take that risk with women. So they want women to select them. Guess what? That aggression we have killed in men is basically appearing in women. I'm basically telling you reasons why. There's no reason why you don't have the warrior mentality. Even Fortune 500 CEOs, see, you can never, cost me anywhere, you can never reach your full potential without that aggression. It is not possible. Yes, there are men who get there, and they kill that part of aggression. Guess what? It's a matter of time before they get lost. Right? So when I tell people that Andrew Tate plays a role in terms of making men aggressive, they make it sound like I'm kissing his ass. No, I'm not kissing Andrew Tate's ass. I know the role that he plays. Right? In case you don't know, he's basically telling men to wake up. The things that he says is intentional. Andrew Tate knows how to fight. When he knows how to fight, again, he knows how to play chess. So he's not a fool. He's very smart. He knows that if he's out here discussing men about being tamed and aggressive, he knows that people will not really get the message. When he speaks more about aggression, just about moving forward, about having that drive, having that masculine drive, guess what? Some people will wake up, it will snap out. So when you have that warrior mentality, it makes you aggressive, right? Again, seek solitude so you can hear your own voice, take risk. Now, one other path, one other thinking of a warrior is death. You see, they don't see death as something you should avoid, basically. That does not mean that they should run into death. What it basically means is they know that death is a part of life. If it comes, they don't struggle with it. Now, the whole idea is you see death as something, as a phase. So guess what? If it comes, you don't struggle. And this mentality, what it basically says is if you can think about your death more frequently, guess what? It's easier for you to do things because you're going to die someday. It's easier to listen to your own voice when you know that you and everybody around you, your haters, your friends, you're all going to die. It's to make you think you live your own life based on your own terms, not based on what people believe. And everything I'm telling you now comes from Miyoto Musashi's works, precisely the book called Dokoto, The Art of Aloneness. Every single time I listen to this thing, my head, I feel things, the hair on my body basically rising up. Because this is what men lack these days. Think about it. There's a reason why strong men who are aggressive, they create good times. That good times create weak men, and that's where we are these days. We have weak men. Simply because they want women to move forward. And now, again, I don't want people seeing women as the enemy. Because take it or leave it. The moment you show your aggression, women can't challenge you. Again, speaking of women can't challenge you, yes, you see women, feminists who are saying, no, men should not be aggressive. That is all mental games. Let me tell you for a fact. With the way I speak, my guys also ask me, how do I talk like this and women still love me for it? It's not a thing of bragging. It's about women say those things to test you. From my observation, they say those things like, oh, do you have the audacity? How we say such a thing? It is all a test. And I tell you for sure that some of these feminists who are making noise, precisely in my country, Nigeria, a lot of them are stylishly hitting me up at the back. And I'm not saying this as a way of bragging, but as a man, when the woman says you have the audacity, what she basically telling you is, do you really have the balls? That is why, as a man, as a warrior, when you have the warrior mentality and you believe in something, you stand for it. This is why I say that I will die on this grave. That the moment men begin to have that warrior mindset, this warrior mindset I'm talking about, because that is basically the solution for every man, that warrior mindset. Without war, because most men, like I said, if there is a war today, most men will bring out their aggression. This is why I say the best you can do as a man is to, first of all, share this video, because if you're right, I'm enjoying it too. I can keep talking for a while. If you are enjoying it, share with somebody else, because we need to make men more aggressive. Not aggressive in the fact that we are causing trouble or we are a threat to society, but we need to make men more aggressive in a way that we are tamed, we are protecting people, we are speaking up for people. Because this idea of, I remember when I was living in high school, they began to basically punish bullies. I said that no, from my stories, if I didn't have bullies, there'll be no reason for me to become better, for me to become stronger, not better, but stronger. Now, do I regret being a bully? To some extent, yes, but guess what? In the very end, I think I became better, I became stronger. Now look at any society who doesn't have bully or who does not have threats. What happens to them? They never see a need to get better. What happens to the men? They become soft. Now, take it from me, right? Look at a situation where women are around soft men. There's an ick around women. If you don't notice, look at it very well. I can tell you for a fact because I talked to a lot of them. Even to the point where I think I used to be introvert. At some point, I became unintroverted. That's why I can switch between introversion and extroversion. Because those things are just labels, basically. But if you speak to them, you get to realize that, bro, if you have this energy, it's attractive as fuck. They don't say it because it makes them actually, it's not, they can't even compete. That's why the government knows that. The people of power, the matrix that Andrew Tate talks about, they know that if men become aggressive today, they cannot control them. They cannot control you if they become aggressive. So basically, I'm basically telling you that there's no reason for you not to have the warrior mindset. Like I've always said, that tamed aggression, that aggression that they've suppressed in men, is what is leading to men's depression and anxiety. So what should you do? Embrace the aggression. If you want to go to the gym, channel the aggression towards what? Either lifting weights, yelling, shouting, smashing things, but you need to channel that aggression. Men cannot speak about their feelings, but the fact that they can channel aggression makes them feel powerful and capable, even just for a few moments, even just for a stupid moment. The point is, that is how men want to feel. My name is Tonoreye. I basically want men to wake up and get to realize that the world can be better if men become stronger. Nobody feels threatened. Women should not feel threatened because men are becoming stronger. Again, a lot of feminists make it sound like if men become stronger, they become weaker. No, we are stronger in our own different worlds, but we come together. So hopefully in this video, I hope I convinced you that you should adopt the warrior mindset, go and learn how to fight, tell guys learn how to fight. And again, think about it. The guys who step into the ring, even though you lose in a ring, let me tell you something. At least you have done something that most men can do. You have done something that most men can do. Think about it. If you can take a kick from your fellow weight class, you get to realize that what will a woman do to you? She can't do shit. That reminds me about this girl who was very difficult to get in the gym. Not really difficult, but she was always on her headphones. So when I approached her, she basically told me this after, right? When I approached her one day when I was done working out. She kept on looking at me. And when I approached her, I came too close to her. Apparently I was like exhausted, but still approached her. And she was very intimidated. But guess what? We're friends now. So I don't want to keep going back and forth. All I'm saying is, brother, have a warrior mindset. And please share this video. Let's get more guys having that warrior mindset. That is the only thing missing in young men today. Talk to you soon and share this video.